Dear children, today we are going to discuss about plant tissue culture. So plant tissue culture is a new technique in which the plants can be grown into a culture medium in aseptic condition. What is plant tissue culture? Plant tissue culture growing plant protoplasm cells, tissues or organs away from their natural or non-normal environment under artificial condition is known as tissue culture. That means culturing of plant part like cells, tissues, protoplasm, tissues, organs, any other things. If you are culturing in culture medium artificially, this is known as tissue culture. It is also known as in vitro culture. Tissue culture can also called as in vitro culture. Why it is called as in vitro? In vitro is the Latin name. It is nothing but the culturing of plant in glass or test tube. So if you are culturing a plant or if you are growing up a plant from cells or tissues or organ in a glass or test tubes, it is called as in vitro. So growth of plant protoplasm cells, tissues, organ in test tube are called as in vitro culture. This is also called as tissue culture. A single explant. What do you mean by explant? Explant are nothing but if you are taking a tissue or cell or organ from any part of the plant for tissue culture, then this part will be called as explant. A single explant can be multiplied into several thousands of plants in a short span of time and the space of under controlled condition. What do you mean by controlled condition? As I said just now, that is the room should be in a particular temperature, the room should be in a particular pressure, the room should be in a particular light. That means certain amount of light should be 1000 lux to 4000 lux of intensity of light should be provided. Around 12 to 16 hours of photo period should be provided, and that should be sterilized from microorganisms. These are all under control condition. So tissue culture techniques are often used commercial production of plants as well as for plant research as well. So tissue culture is also used for plant research and even commercial production of plants in a huge amount in a short span of time. Short span of period can be done with the help of the technique is called as plant tissue culture. Plant tissue culture has serves as an indispensable tool for regeneration of transgenic plants. So the transgenic plants can be produced with the help of the plant tissue culture. Apart from this, some of the main applications of plant tissue culture are clonal propagations of elite varieties, very important, or which are provided in a very short span of time, and most not available or very rare plant can be produced. That is, they are called as elite variety. Conservation of endangered plant. That means some of the plants is going to be extinct. Extinct means they are going to be destroyed. They are going to be killed, or naturally it might be destroyed or extinct. So these are called as extinct plant. They can be conserved for future development. Production of virus-free plant. Usually bacterial and fungus will be removed with chemical, but virus is not possible to remove from plant if it is growing up. So in such occasions, with the help of plant tissue culture, we can able to produce virus-free plant and germplasm preservation, industrial production of secondary metabolites. What do you mean by secondary metabolite? Some of the chemicals which are produced by the plant, certain chemicals like alkaloids or drugs or pharmaceuticals which have been produced by the plant, which are not used for the growth and development for the plant, but these are very much useful for mankind, for human being. Such a type of product are called as secondary metabolites. The secondary metabolites are the chemical substances or the product which are produced by the plant, which are not used by the plant but used by someone else like human being. They are called as secondary metabolites. So secondary metabolites are also can be prepared or produced through this plant tissue culture. So in this chapter we are going to discuss about techniques, types, applications of plant tissue culture and get aware of ethical issues. These are all the things we are going to discuss. Whenever we are going to discuss about plant tissue culture, we should remember, we should recall a great German scientist was called as G. Haberland. Gottlieb Haberland in the year 1902, he has discovered about this totipotency of plant cell to complete entire plant from a plant cell called Lomium purpureum. So G. Haberland, a German botanist, proposed the concept of totipotency. What do you mean by totipotency? The ability of a plant cells or tissues to produce entire organism will be called as totipotency. And he was also the first person to culture plant cells in artificial conditions using the mesophyll cells of Lomium purpureum in the culture medium and obtain cell proliferation. This is the first plant tissue culture have been prepared or produced by the great scientist was called as Haberland, G. Haberland, Gottlieb Haberland in the year 1902. He is regarded as father of plant tissue culture. G. Haberland is considered as father of plant tissue culture. Next we are going to see about basic concept of plant tissue culture. This is an important question. So there are four basic concepts are available for plant tissue culture. What are they? Totipotency, differentiation, redifferentiation, dedifferentiation. These are the four basic concepts which are related to plant tissue culture. First of all, totipotency. The name itself we can able to understand. The term totipotency consists of two terms. Totipotency. Toti means total. Potency means potential. The ability, the potential means the ability of cell or the tissue or organ which can able to produce the total or entire plant, which is called as totipotency. So the property of living plant cell that they have genetic potential when cultured in nutrient medium to give rise to complete individual plant, which is called as totipotency. Right? Then differentiation. What is differentiation? I shall explain about totipotency. Suppose this is carrot plant. From the carrot plant, we can take a cell. It is called as next plant. This cell to be transferred into the medium. So medium is the nutrient medium which will be helping for the growing of this cell or tissue, which will be called as medium. Now this explant is transferred to this medium, nutrient medium. Then the cell will be divided to produce the callus. What is callus? The unorganized mass of cells are called as callus. That means due to cell division, these are producing huge number of cells are called as callus. From the callus, embryo will be developed. This is early embryo. This is late embryo. From this embryo, a new plant, that is shoot and root. Shoot and root will be produced. This will be forming a new plant. So this is called as totipotency. That means a single cell which can have the ability to produce the entire organism, which will be called as totipotency. Do you understand? Next we are going to see about differentiation. What do you mean by differentiation? Differentiation is nothing but, here the cell is growing up. It is unorganized mass of cell. When they are being in the callus, they are unorganized mass of cells. These unorganized mass of cells do not have any specific function like root or shoot or flower or something. But afterwards, after this callus, this will be developed into embryo, then they will be developed into shoot and root. This is called as differentiation. Differentiation means unorganized mass of cells will be developed into various parts, various organ, shoot or root. These are called as differentiation. So, the process of biochemical and structural changes by which cells become specialized in form and function. That means the process of biochemical structural changes. The cells are organized to form a various changes by which cells become a specialized in form. What is a specialized in form? Either root or shoot. This is specialized in form. And function. That means the function of root and function of root they are doing by themselves. That means the shoot will not do the function of root. Root will not do the function of shoot. That means these are fixed. But previously, any cell can develop into anyone. But now, once if it has become shoot, that will be continuous throughout the life shoot only. If it has become root, throughout the life, they will be root only. So this is called differentiation. Once if it is differentiated, they will not be formed like a callus. Right? So this is called as differentiation. Next one is redifferentiation. This unorganized mass of cells, this unorganized mass of cells to become into embryo. From this embryo, further development will be there. Shoot, root and become plant. So this is called redifferentiation. That means further development will be called as redifferentiation. So the further differentiation of already differentiated cells. That means it is callus. From this callus it is differentiated into embryo. From this embryo, shoot and root will be formed. These are called further differentiation of already differentiated cell into another type of cells. For example, when the component cells of callus have the ability to form whole plant in a nutrient medium, the phenomenon is called redifferentiation. Next one is dedifferentiation. Dedifferentiation is nothing but once the callus is formed into differentiate, once again these form return back to callus again. This is called dedifferentiation. The phenomena of reversion of mature cells to the meristematic state leading to form the callus is called dedifferentiation. These two phenomena of redifferentiation and dedifferentiation are inherent capability of living plant cells or tissues. This is described as totipotency. What is dedifferentiation? Once if it is callus will be formed into embryo or the callus, it is meristematic tissue. This meristematic tissue is unorganized mass of cell. This will be forming permanent tissue like xylem, phloem or parenchyma, colloidema, scleroderma. So this is permanent tissue. Once again the permanent tissue is forming, return back to meristematic tissue, then forming callus again. This will be called as dedifferentiation. The phenomena of reversal of mature cells to the meristematic state leading to the formation of callus is called dedifferentiation.